All right, I just want to first of all thank the people who came out. Apologize for the tardiness again. Whether you're here for my birthday, just to support the conversations, or here for one of my lovely co-hosts today, we all appreciate you. I know pretty much all of y'all, so we just jump right into it.
That's fucked up.
You guys introduce yourselves actually.
Yeah.
We'll start there.
What kind of format?
We'll go down.
is this?
Let's start with you, C, at the end.
CJ Anderson.
Damn.
Tell them a little bit about you.
Oh, that's played in the NFL for 8 years. Enjoying life. Met 10 and a lot of these other people through the spaces, and me and 10 doing some real big business stuff together. So,
Amen to that. I'm glad you just brought that up. So this is pretty much started on Twitter. Damn, I'm sweating. This started on Twitter, which is something called Twitter Spaces, where it's kind of like a live chat room or like Clubhouse, if you've heard of it. So talking to Jazz and JoJo and Smash was just like, how can we do this in person and bring it to halftime? And this is our third one. First one we did on the weekend. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming up. I have connections to all of these people up here. And yeah, so you met CJ, and now the love of my life.
The lovely love of his life.
and shout out to Honey for helping me get my master's.
Y'all, my name's not gonna be on that degree, CJ. It's my turn to talk. Hold on. I'm talking about you. Hey, I'm Honey, and I'm getting paid to be here because somebody's not on time. So this is the second episode where I'm getting used to just speak. But if you know me, then you know, okay? I am a serial entrepreneur. I'm a professional coin rotation specialist. I made that sound hella good, huh? You believe me when I said that? And I'm somebody mama. Yeah, that's me.
My name is Lo. I'm an astrologer and a teacher.
Hello. I'm CJ. I'm just a regular, everyday working man. I go to church. I take care of my kids, and I love my girlfriend.
Are you a paid actor? Because she is here. Blink twice. You cool, cousin? You need something?
That's your first one.
Dang, that was a mean
That's
check
the
in.
first one. I didn't have such a
Okay.
thank you.
Hi, my name is Sadia. I am
Somebody
jack of all trades. I say problem solver, fixer, and a mom.
Being on a show with my best friend is crazy.
Y'all gonna tell us y'all business?
Yep.
Cool.
If you ask the right questions.
No, I have no filter.
All right, so we'll-
Earmuffs.
Chance earmuffs is crazy.
We'll jump in with the first topic. So today, I wanted to be more fun topics that everybody else. Oh, that's the other thing. If you have any input on a topic or a question to ask anybody from something somebody said up here or input on a topic, just let us know, and then we'll gladly give you the floor. All these topics today are relationship based, so I think everybody can relate to these. So we'll start off is, do you think social media is making it harder for people to be faithful in relationships today?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Temptation is a motherfucker, I tell you that. So if you can look at it and all you got to do is double tap it, is it really cheating? But when you slide in that DM, that's what makes it questionable. Because everybody has a limitation on what they believe is cheating. So some people, they still gonna stay. But I'm just saying, they're still gonna stay. But, in that moment, I'm trying to have a boundary. Shit, the fuck. Social media is ruining relationships.
Or the people using social media?
Just, sure. The content on social media, I'll say. There's nothing censored anymore. That's how I feel.
I mean, a lot of this stuff is preference. It depends on you feel me, maturity, to be honest. You don't have to have social media geared to or linked up to anything that you, like fantasizing about or what's going to feed your, naughty side, if you want to use that word.
So what's your algorithm look like?
It don't matter what my algorithm look like.
See?
I'm just telling you that it can gear to something else. It just depends on what this AI, this some new stuff we in, you feel me? So of course, what you link up to, or even linking up to somebody on your friends list, is gonna link you up to something else that open up another door or open up some other stuff. So if you gear it the right way, or if you got the right, you know what I mean, right channel, social media don't necessarily have to be that. It's the person that's handling it, just like a gun.
Dang, he came out shooting.
Ma'am.
Is
Lo, how
cool?
you feel?
Oh, I'm love. I'm love.
Okay.
Lo, what you think?
I feel like it is. It is easy to like cheat, or like Honey said, what is cheating, what is being faithful, but it is easy to just like even like vanish mode type shit, you know?
That's
You could just be doing all kind of sneaky shit. So it is.
How does that work?
What you mean? How does that work? You know you use Vanish.
Nah, I don't use that.
Swipe up, boo.
But then, what happens?
Come right back though.
It's like old Snapchat
And it
in a
tells you
sense.
when somebody
So once they read the message, it's no longer show.
It goes away, and if you screenshot, they
It'll
see.
tell you
It'll
that
tell them like, oh, the person
Oh,
took a
shit.
screenshot.
It's like Snapchat.
Yeah, it's like the old Snapchat.
Old Snapchat.
The old Snapchat. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Saudi,
So it's
what-
hella easier to like.
I'm
If
a-
you want to do some fuck shit, you can.
He trying to act like he don't know what Vanish mode is. Crazy.
I'm being honest. I really don't.
Oh, okay.
And it's like easier to have out of town shit too on social media.
That's a good point.
So if your in town shit tripping, you could be like, okay, well,
That's my girl. Wake it up in there.
you know, like. So it's easy. It's easy. I don't cheat, but it's easy.
I don't cheat. Me neither. Not anymore.
Yeah, never cheated.
Saudi, what do you think?
Deep.
Yeah, I think it's easier. It gives a person the opportunity to have two different lives. So, me personally, I'm not a believer in following your significant other on social media.
Really?
Posting on social media, because
I don't wanna see that
when you post your significant other on social media, you're inviting people to slide in the DM.
Yep.
You're giving them the invite, like you're offering them to the world
Go on. Go ahead.
to try to talk to, especially if you're a female or you're a male and they know what type of caliber of female you are or male, and you post your significant other and they gonna be like, oh, I know what type of nigga she fuck with, so the bitch can be like, I want that nigga. And the same thing with males. You post your significant other and they know Justin fuck with bad bitches. Justin fuck with bitches that got
Amen.
their shit together.
Questionable.
I'm just saying in general. I'm saying you're inviting the back door to me. So I don't follow my significant other. He don't follow me. We don't do
He
the
follow
posting.
me. He be trying to-
follow my
he be
friends
trying to
follow
find
him.
you.
And
That's where the info at.
but if I want, but I don't, because I'm not insecure in my position. So I think people that have to post their significant other and use Instagram to justify their relationship, it comes with a insecurity.
point.
So
on both ends.
what do you say to the people who feel like the fact that you can't follow your significant other could be insecurity?
I mean, it's just you as a person. If you're secure with your relationship and you know what type of female or male you deal with, why does it matter? Because he can hide his story from you. I can hide my story from you. So it's not necessarily you gonna know. Following each other on Instagram or post each other is not gonna make a difference when there's so many ways for me to avoid you from seeing what I'm doing. So why even set myself up to get my feelings hurt or worry about who's liking your pictures or who? I just rather not follow you. Because what I don't know,
Don't hurt.
no, don't hurt me. If it's not being brought to me, whatever you're doing it right because I'm not being disrespected by it.
Or you just
So-
that good.
See?
I think it's a maturity thing. I think it's different generations, right? So I think
That's it.
you look at back when MySpace and Facebooks were created. Yeah, I'm here. I'm young, but I'm here. But you think about when MySpace and Facebook was created, and also it's where you're at the time. So everything I'm gonna speak about today is about a time where I was at the highest point of my life of status. So at that time, I would say yeah, because one, I was immature, but two, I had the access to go anywhere in the country to go do what I wanted to go do
Weird flex.
at that time.
Weird
Then
flex.
I already explained what I'm talking about,
I'm just
so it ain't a
saying,
flex.
I'm saying.
So I think it's with that, and I think when you start thinking about different social medias, like me, I'm not in the Snapchat, TikTok world. That I feel like that's for the little younger. I feel like the people who was on MySpace and Facebook, they got on Instagram, but then they might have moved on. And I think 20 years from now, it's gonna be more social media platforms that's out there that's gonna give people more opportunities to do what they want to do, right? And I think it just depends on that. But it's definitely on the maturity level. Like who I was at 25 is not where I'm at 34.
All right.
Right? And I think we hold a lot of people back where we used to see them. So if they cheated on you or like you're that once a cheater, always a cheater. Now you've grown, but I do think it's a maturity level when it comes to social media, making it there. It's very accessible if you have the means to make it happen. I know that personally.
How do you guys feel about dating public figures, if you ever have or if you ever would? Or do you feel like you could? Somebody who they might make money off their social media, so they have to be active on there, they have to be engaging. Because I think about that, right? As a single person who's been single for a while now, and how I have to navigate, honestly though, like how I have to interact and navigate with just people because of what I want to be eventually. I think about that like, damn, if I get a girlfriend, how is that? Because I come off as flirtatious and all of that. You feel me? Especially in the spaces.
At least you know. At least he knows, right? Accountability. That's a big word.
But I think
for
about that
Elmo.
though. So it's like now when it comes to me, finding a partner, how much do I let my actions because of my business affect how she feels, and like, do I just end the relationship, or like how would you guys feel in that moment?
What
Like,
would you want your woman to do?
I mean, it depends. If I met her in that space, again, it's the old saying, like, if you're gonna meet a stripper in a strip club, how you gonna ask her to stop stripping?
I hear you.
And that's truly how I feel, though. But again, I'm not going to go get a stripper in the strip club. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, if I know my girl has to interact with guys like, that's not gonna bother me. I'm not going through the phone. I'm not doing all of that. That's me today. You know what I mean? But at one point, that shit used to bother me.
I just think it's the maturity thing. The CJ Anderson brand has to be explained right now, like up front. That's something I was learning when I was 22, 20. Like when I got in the league, I was 21. So from 21 to 30, or I would say 21 to 28, I'm still learning what that brand looks like and what comes after me and what happens. I'm also learning, the mother of my child at the time, I'm also learning what ticks her, because it's new for both of us.
I was
So now in the situation where I'm in now, it's like, one, I'm more mature not to play into those temptation games and those things. But two, it's like, during these months of the year, this is who CJ Anderson is. This is how, extra X amount of dollars and extra this. This is kind of how that goes, and this is what that is. And then it's having a genuine conversation, right, with whoever I choose to be with, so they can understand that. But a lot of people are not, like, they're going to tell you they understand, and I've had this. They're going to tell you they understand until they see you in that setting, and then it's like, whoa, like, I didn't know you were really like this.
Well, that's kind of where
That's a conversation that you got to have. Both people got to be mature, but being a public figure, it's hard. It ain't easy, bro.
But that's more so what my question is leading towards. Like, once you hit that moment, because again, most people are gonna say, yeah, I can handle it in the beginning, depending on how bad they want you. But once you get to that moment where, okay, this is our third time having this conversation. That you told me you would understand. You signed up for this in a way. So it's like, in that moment, what do you do? Do you limit yourself in your professional field or whatever that may be, or do you lack in?
I think it depends on what he said, for sure, maturity, but it depends on how you feel about the person. It depends on who that person is to you and how you gonna move or rock with that person too. If you like that person enough, you're gonna give them a lane and avenue that they can maneuver in that don't bother you if you on that level. At the same time, they gonna have to understand and know what you're doing and what is popping off in your lane to where you creating something for them to have. Now, if they not worth you doing that to, then you gotta know they gotta kick rocks off top. But what's the point of, especially if you some type of big high figure and you don't gotta really be worrying about people. You see people every day and you see females every day, or you see guys every day and you ain't really tripping off people, but they are. You gotta know how to, just depends on who that person is. You gotta know how to maneuver with because 9 times out of 10, you know who you messing with. You know who you talking to, and you know how to maneuver with who your person is. So if you want to talk to them bad enough, if they giving you head good enough, if they bending it over good enough, if they doing X, Y, and Z, you gonna bust a move for it. If they not, you gonna find somewhere for it to go.
I also think you got to bring them involved. So that's something I've learned over the time. Like, you got to come to these events and you need to see what the CJ Anderson looks like. Because, like, you hearing me talk and you might be seeing it on TV or whatever, but you're not really there to witness this and see it and see how many people are coming up and see how many. And I think I've done that. That's been a big help with the mother of my child at the time. We was together for 10 years. So like when I started to do that, that lightens up the mood a little bit. Because now my intentions ain't, oh, I might meet whoever while I'm doing my thing, and you feel me? So I think that too, like you gotta also, like there's the conversations, but then it's also like, all right, you need to come to this event and you need to see what 10 look like or see what Honey or whoever that is, what this looks like, right? So you ain't no public figure?
I'm not.
You ain't out there on podcasts and got your own show,
I don't know what
PSA.
that
And,
But CJ, with you, as you're talking, I'm listening. Like that sounds a little bit easier to explain because you're like in the 1%.
Right.
You know what I mean? Professional athlete.
It's a different level.
You know what I mean? Super Bowl champion.
They want to see the
had to
family
give you
aspect.
that,
They
that
want to
love.
see that. That shit sells all the time.
And,
Yeah,
and
but-
that's a bragging point for her too. So for somebody like myself, who explaining what I do for a living is not most people. Most people don't even understand it.
But it don't mean, so like, I've had take pictures with females and I gotta make sure where my hands is at. I've had a problem like just,
No, that's real.
I got my hand.
Okay, so okay,
feel
right.
me? And then
'Cause I
it's
don't-
like, it's
'cause
an
I don't-
argument.
No, you're right.
You
I
know
don't
what
want
I'm saying? Like it doesn't stop how other people, you know.
Shoulder.
I've had
touch
events.
you?
I've had events where I was in Denver or I was in LA when I was with the Rams. I've had events where you signing, I'm signing autographs. Can we take a picture? And you got women trying to rub on your chest while they trying to leave and types. So it doesn't. You still got to show them like, hey, I ain't on this, but like I can't control what's going on, and
Right.
we're doing our best to minimize a lot of that.
And I'll reword it because I don't want to minimize the issue that y'all go through as professionals because I understand it's different problems. Let's just say that
Yeah, that's
different,
fact. That's fact.
different type of conversations
Right,
that happen.
right,
So let's change that. How do ladies feel about this?
I just think it's come down to boundaries. It's a difference between friendly flirting and cockhound flirting.
Okay. Say
It's a
it.
difference.
It is.
You can flirt and be friendly, and your significant other or the person you deal with not be offended by it or upset about it. It's the way you do it, and it shows in your actions, the way you approach a female or the way you interact with a female. Like we all be together, like, and no one would ever mistake our flirting with each other for nothing but that's Sadia Justin partner. Jasmine Justin's sister, like, because there's a boundary. There's a way you do it and a way you don't do it. And most dudes do it in a disrespectful way. They don't know how to set that boundary or distinguish between friendly flirting and I'm trying to get some pussy flirting. And that's the problem.
Is friendly flirting okay?
If it's your partner, we all flirt with each other. We all say, for the most part, crazy shit to each other.
Right, that's a fact.
But it's friendly. It's not, no one.
I don't know if I'm doing that in front of my lady though.
But I'm just saying,
So you wouldn't call
but it's a boundary. It's a boundary. You're not gonna. I mean,
I'll be
I'm
like,
just saying, some of our conversations
You will
be
not.
crazy,
Yeah, no, for sure.
but we all have enough
For sure.
respect for each other as friends to know how far to take a conversation.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So it also goes to the people you're surrounding yourself in and the environment you're in. If you know you're gonna be in an environment where it's gonna be a whole bunch of thirsty ass bitches, then you have to learn how
That's
to
everywhere Justin goes.
But the man
Whoa,
has to learn how to step back and be like, hold on, this enough. Wiggle the room, work the room, stay away from those problems. Same thing with females. But at the end of the day, some people like that type of attention. Some people like the fact that it makes their partner jealous or their female jealous. It just depends
Why are
on the
you
person.
giggling over there? It's
Nothing.
just cool.
Because I had a joke, but I can't say it.
I know
Why
what Justin
you
about to
can't
Yeah, I
say.
can't even
Why
say
you
it.
can't-
But you know,
Say it.
I
Nah.
just think it's all about the person and how you respect the person that you're in a relationship with.
That's a fact.
Man, what was the funny?
Nothing.
need to
Lo,
laugh.
what you think? Could you date Okay, so what about? Could you date a rapper?
So I've dated like a public figure before, but honestly, I felt like for me, it was more so just worrying about what the fuck I'm doing. I never really tripped off what they was doing, and that's why I feel like they was always like, I want to continue fucking with you or take it more. But I would notice, like you said, certain like cockhound ways. I'd be like, yeah, nah, I'm cool. Cause I see how you get down, like I'm cool. But I just kind of focused on me, like, even though you're a public figure, that doesn't mean anything. Really, truly, honestly. So I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm not hounding you about shit, whatever. And to me, honestly, I was just like, if I were to continue or be in a relationship with somebody like that, we would just have to have an understanding of boundaries, because a lot of times I don't want to be around that shit. I don't really like to be around hella people like that anyway. But if I know that you out and you doing stuff, then you need to make sure that you got boundaries. And if you don't, I'm going to make the decision and be like, I don't want to fuck with you no more. I'm not going to make you, this is how you are. So you already showed me how you get down. So I'm just going to keep it lit.
That's real.
And that just piggyback off what I said.
Oh, that's real.
Gang, gang.
Honey, what you think?
Honestly, at this, I've been in both situations, so it's like it's hard to determine. Like, all I know in my better life, what I would do is just communication. Because whether you're a public figure or not, you're still a fucking person. Why do I have to dumb down my identity to fit what you got going on in your like, it should be reciprocated in that moment. Like, if you respect me for what I have going on and I'm seeing what you have going on, it should be a mutual understanding, especially if that's the type of relationship that you actually have with somebody. But if we're talking significantly in that sense, like, there should already be boundaries set. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it. Like, especially if you want to be outside in public, you know what the fuck you be doing in public, So if I'm outside and I'm extra friendly, like, I always get in trouble for being extra fucking friendly. Like, how is that my fault? That's not my fault. I can't help the hoes love me. The fuck?
I also think
Well, damn.
All good over there?
10.
Well, damn.
Nah, 10. Another thing is too, and it's kind of popped in my head.
That boy's stupid.
He felt that nigga ain't said a word all day. He felt that.
Nah, but 10.
And this is why none of us need to be friends with each other.
But for real.
Oh my God.
Nah, 10. Another thing is too, just to piggyback, a lot of people want boundaries and want things, and they just messing with each other. They ain't even have talk about commitment and being in relationships. A lot of problems that we know that we see or we hear are usually two people talking to each other, and that's it. They just talking to each other. They might be having sex, but there's nothing further past that. So someone's feelings is getting hurt, where those boundaries or nothing never got talked because they feel like they're in a relationship, but they're not in a relationship. There's a lot of that going on in our community for sure.